What's up, boys? This is just going to be a quick little grill and chill. Let this thing cook out on the rocks. This is my Ascent Apex. Obviously, you can see we changed the body up. I did change the wheels and tires, and I'm going to tell you guys, it did hurt me a little bit to remove those stock tires because, man, were they good out here. I honestly think they may have hooked up a little better than these tires out here, but I really like these LGRP claw hammer tires. They have a nice scale look to them, and they were just the perfect size for this build, this body. So you may be curious, why would I change the body? Why would I change this thing up if it was so good stock? And honestly, the answer to that is just because I wanted to make it my own. I picked this body up, did a little bit of work with like the windshield and stuff to it, and I wasn't really sure what I was going to run it on. It's an Ascent or 4M based kind of wheelbase, as you can see. And so I wanted to put it on something I was going to use a lot, but I really wasn't sure what I was going to use it on. And then I got this Apex, and everything fits so low on this chassis. And you can see we got a little bit of rub there, but I can live with that. It fits so well on this chassis with everything being so low inside this chassis that I couldn't pass up the opportunity to put it on here. So I'm actually running the stock mounting system on the front. So it just has like the little hook tabs. That's what these bolts here are. I didn't want to make the big massive holes in it like the stock body has. So I just ran a screw through there and then put a little glue on it. And then it's just Velcro on the bed. So it fit this really well, and I'm going to show you in a second just how we've got it mounted up here, because I wanted to talk about a couple little differences between this and the Scout Ascent. Because when I did my original video on this, I was kind of like, you know, it's Ascent based, it'll use all of your Ascent parts for the most part besides the high steer axle stuff, right? And I really should have clarified what I meant by that, because these high steer axles on this comp version are slightly different than the high steer axle on the Scout version. And some of you probably know that. Maybe all of you know it. I don't know. But I didn't want you guys going and picking up anything for the Scout high steer thinking it would work with this. So this is a wider axle. I don't have my calipers out here, but this measures like, I think it was like 72 millimeter or something from here to here, eye to eye. And this is like in the 60 range or something. I don't know, but it's much different, as you can see. That's the width. Look at this redneck way of showing you guys, right? But much wider. Here we go. Than the Scout axle. So for some of you that may be an issue. You may prefer these if you're actually running comps and you want to stay a little more narrow. But for somebody like me that just runs kind of fun lines or fun comps, it's okay. I don't mind the width. These wheels did tuck it in just a little bit more than the stock ones, and it really hurt me to pull these tires because these things are very good. But as somebody mentioned, I mean, I don't mind the look for like a comp crawler, but when you go put a hard body on it, in my opinion, they just didn't look the greatest on here. And they were too large. They were going to rub like crazy. So that's why I swapped them out. But back to these axles, because I wanted to clarify. I kind of just said, you know, oh, this is Ascent based, so all of your Ascent upgrades will work. But I kind of meant like transmission, gearing, all of that stuff. The high steer axles are different from the original Ascent axles, obviously. And then these two high steer, this is a different high steer than this, right? It's more narrow. So your shafts from here to here aren't going to work. Your steering link isn't going to work. But like your inner and outer covers for these will work here. And diff covers from the original Ascent will work on these. As you can see, I've added a diff cover here, and I did add the brass outers to the rear here. So all of your outer portal covers are the same from the original Ascent. So there's a lot of different variations. I just didn't want anybody going and picking up. There's really not much available for the Scout high steer axle yet. There are like the steering links that Redcat has and 3Flow 9, I think. Yeah, or I just ordered one of those actually. They have the roller bearing link for these. That's not going to fit this because this is a wider axle, obviously. I know I'm jumping around again, but that's just how my brain works. I can't help it, okay? So I did want to show you guys, this is the Apex high steer axle. I would say right around the 69, 70 marks, probably what that's meant to be. This is the original Ascent 18 axle. I mean, to me, it looks like we can use the original Ascent 18 steering link over here. I hadn't really checked that. Maybe somebody else, you know, I'm sure somebody's already mentioned it, but I just wanted to let you guys know. So it does look like maybe the original Ascent 18 steering link will work on here, if you feel the need to upgrade it. I was planning to go brass just to give me a little more weight up front with the hard body, but after just running this thing, it's running so good, I'll probably just leave it alone. I don't see that this steering link really needs upgraded, so yeah, I'll probably just leave it. You also have a few differences on the bottom. As you can tell, the links are different. We're shorter up front on the comp version, and then slightly longer to the rear. So your links and drive shafts are different from the Ascents, and your skid setup's a little bit different. You can see it's more of a flush mount here, whereas it's like a drop down here. So those things, this is gonna kind of have its own parts aside from all of the previous Ascents, besides some of the stuff. Okay, so some things will cross over, some won't, but I don't want you guys to buy something for this and it not work for this, just because I kind of like, in my video, was like, oh, it's Ascent based, so your Ascent high steer mods will work with this. I was curious how the hard body would affect this. It's a lot more weight up top, obviously. But I just thought this body looked so good. I wanted to put it on something that I knew I would run a lot. And I seen me driving this a lot. So I did just go ahead and toss it on here. These tires, wheels are just some cheap Amazon wheels. I'll try to link those. Came from Amazon. And then I do have flubs in the front. And the rear actually has the little Munchkin sidewall things from EXO in it. I wanted to kind of give those another shot. So I'm running the 57 millimeter that he offers in these tires. And then the flubs up front. So we've got those 57 millimeter Munchkin inserts with the stock foam that comes with these tires in the rear, and then flubs up front. So for the body on this, I'm not done with it. I'm gonna try to put some lights in the front, and then I'm going to try to find a little interior, like a shallow interior to print and set in there. It's one of the reasons I liked it on here, is everything sits so low inside of there. I did change out the receiver. Now this comes with a really small receiver anyways. It's a nice little transmitter receiver combo for this truck stock. And I like that they did a pretty small receiver because you keep that weight down. I honestly only changed it because I try to put everything on my radio link just so that I'm not carrying a bunch of different transmitters with me. But being that everything is super low in there, we can hopefully put us a little interior in there. And you'll see this body, it hangs down a little bit below the skid or the sliders. Not really the skid, but the sliders. So it's gonna take a little beating, but I'm willing to let it take that beating because I just thought it fit well on here. And when we're fully compressed, let's see here, I'm trying to do this one-handed. the body is about even with the links there. So we may beat this up a little bit, but it'll be fine. It'll give it a little character. I thought it worked really well, and this thing being such a good performer, as you know, out of the box, I really hated to change it, but I also didn't want to just leave it the same as what everybody else is going to have, you know. We always want to make it our own, so I changed it up just to make it my own. I'm going to run this a lot, honestly. I'm getting ready to be back down in the Gatlinburg, Pigeon Forge area. Already talked to my man Charlie down in Knoxville. Definitely going to meet up with him while I'm down that way. So if you guys are anywhere around that area, let me know. This is one of them that I'm for sure going to bring with me. You know, I'm excited to run it. I was curious if we could still make this, because this is a very tough line, and I couldn't believe we made it in stock form. With the added weight of the hard body up top, I really don't expect it to make this now. And we may not get the bite with these tires. It looks like we really are there. We're just not quite getting the bite. Let's try to go left. Sometimes you'll loop out if you go too far left. If you come back right, use our sidewall a little bit, maybe up front. Gosh, it's so close. Oh, that was almost it. Get that bite, get that bite. There it goes. So that passenger side just had to get that hook and get up over that. If this still goes up this, I think, well, I know this will be the first hard body to ever go up this. Jeez. I don't want to flip it either, guys. It's first run on a pretty new body. We are a slightly smaller tire now, so we may not clear as well. And they just, I don't think these tires hook up as good as the daggone stock tires. It's crazy, but. Oh man. I've got to be to the right more, but I just don't want to hook up when I'm pulling to the right. I could get that tire right there over that edge like that, and now back to the right a little. Nope. I need it to stay there. And then we may be able to hook into the gap. No. I just don't know that these tires are going to get it done. They're not as good as those Redcat tires. I'm telling you, those tires are so good. And they're bigger. We lost some clearance here. And I kind of expected this to not be as good of a performer with the hard body. Did we just get it? Come on. Yeah, that is freaking insane. That is insane. That may not look all that tough. I promise you that is hard to do. Dang, I'm impressed right now. You gotta give me a thumbs up on that one. Go subscribe, thumbs up, click the bell, all that stuff. That was just too good. Seriously, that's nuts. And these wheels, I did add a little bit of that weight that I showed in my original video, the golf weight. I did like one ring around these rings, but one thing with the flubs and those munchkins back there, if you wrap a lot of those, you can't get the inner ring inside of the flub. You'll mess it up. So I just did one little ring to give us a little bit of weight. So the only weight this has added is the weight that it comes with on the front, and then one little bit on the inner ring here, and the rear has the outer diff, or the diff, and outer portal cover, and then one little strip around the inner ring there. Dude, this thing's a freaking line slayer for a hard body. All right, so short video. As I said, guys, I just wanted to clarify that a little bit as far as the parts compatibility, because I didn't really go into detail in my original video on this thing. I was just, like I said, I was like, yeah, it's Ascent based. All of your Ascent upgrades will work. Besides you got to have the high steer axle components, and I didn't really clarify that these high steer axles are slightly different than the Scout high steer axles. So I wanted to clarify that and just kind of show you guys what I've done to this so far. Not really much I'm going to do to this besides just like scale touches, hopefully. Add some lights to that front and hopefully put an interior in here. And that's probably about it. So that's the cool thing about this. This is a $250 truck. I added the brass to the rear, so brass rear portal covers again, and diff cover, wheels and tires, changed the body to what I wanted, and the thing is freaking awesome. So I'm loving it. Definitely going to be putting some time in with this one. Looking forward to getting down in the Gatlinburg area, doing a little trailing down there. It's always fun down there. So the rain finally quit. We've had rain here for like 2 days now. It finally quit, so I'm going to get out with the Vertex 6 scale. So definitely stay tuned, and I appreciate you guys checking this out. Hopefully I didn't mislead anybody. I never want to do that, and so I just wanted to kind of clarify it. Again, I appreciate you guys. Appreciate all the channel members. If you're interested in becoming a channel member, I'll link it in the description, as well as the mods I've used here. So appreciate all you guys. Peace. Hey, and another thing is this servo, so I may lose my spot here, but look, all the weight is on the front of this thing, and this servo is putting in work. That's because they did bump the BEC voltage on this to 8.4 as well, so we're pushing a little more power to that servo, and you can definitely tell it. I mean, this thing, even though we're packing a little weight now, we've got the hard body on there and stuff, and it comes with the brass on the front, it doesn't struggle whatsoever. I mean, these points where there's a lot of pressure on that front tire, look, no problem. It moves it. You can literally move the truck anytime you want.